of this video presentation is pushy parents in sports and the effects of overtraining in children. Let's start with this statement about pushy parents. We've all seen them yelling from the stands, running to the field, fighting or arguing with the coaches, all on their child's behalf. They attempt to teach their children all they can and make them best players on the team, in the region or even the state. But when do coaching and teaching become overbearing and overzealous? In this presentation, the main things I want to look at are effects of overtraining on children and healthy intervention. And is there any evidence to support parents having an effect on children overtraining? So let's begin by talking about what is pushy parents. Why is pushy parents an issue? Overtraining intervention, stress on overtraining, and conclusion. Pushy parents. Parents play a major role in children's involvement in sport, particularly at a young age. Research supports the idea of parental involvement, which in turn can have a significant influence on children participating in sport, their access to the practice of sport, and level of participation, as well as their physical and psychological well-being. Contrary to this, lack of support from parents can influence children's view of physical activity negatively. Motivations and goals of young athletes are often in disagreement with those of adults, more specifically parents. Too much play, training, travel, and pressure frequently lead to a variety of physical and psychological problems, particularly as the children are undergoing physical and mental development and the rapid growth phase. Research showed that children after the age of 8-9 years are more susceptible to parent feedback. If positive feedback doesn't match performance, then the parent's involvement could compromise the child's views of their chosen sport. With appropriate guidance from parents and modifications in youth sports, children can be set up for a lifetime of healthy sports participation and enjoyment. So why is parental influence an issue? Nonamir and Oliveira suggest not only will negative feedback from parents result in conflict between children and parents, it may also lead to effects of burnout and overtraining, possibly resulting in lack of physical ability to perform at high levels later in their career, as well as having psychological effects or worse. Still, children may even drop out of sports altogether. Overtraining. How much is too much? Training is considered to put the body under stress. Research has shown that positive training adaptations can transpire if the body undergoes regular sessions of training with varying intensity, duration, frequency, progression, and or blend of these factors. Training can also have a negative effects such as overtraining, particularly in young athletes. This can be detrimental to their holistic well-being. Prolonged excessive training and insufficient recovery causes overtraining syndrome in athletes. Therefore, it may influence a young athlete's performance. It manifests itself with both physiological and psychological symptoms that can persist even after 2 weeks of break. Intervention. Positive parental involvement will not only have a positive effect on a child's ability to perform, but also will have a strong influence on a child's mental health and enjoyment of sport. It has been discovered through research that positive parental involvement is good for children's self-esteem. This is not surprising. However, the research presents a connection between positive supportive parental involvement and a child's level of participation and enjoyment. It has also been discovered that a moderate level of involvement of a parent would in fact be the optimum level of parental involvement. This is reflective in the studies of overly involved parents, which can potentially create high levels of pressure, whilst under-involved parents do not provide enough support to aid a child's aspiration to participate. Alongside parental pressures, stresses including overuse and overtraining, which can be seen in Figure 1, is designed to show how many different stresses exist in a young athlete's life. When stress from any one or combination of these factors becomes too great, an athlete may start to show symptoms associated with overtraining. Figure 1 shows how positive factors feed into the athlete's energy reserves, leading to the potential to improve performance. The factors on the bottom half of the model are all possible precursors to or causes of overtraining. If athletes continue to train when either ill or injured, extra stresses will be put on the body, increasing the likelihood of athletes becoming overtrained. If training demands outweigh the capabilities of the athlete by a greater amount that is needed to facilitate training results. Overtraining may occur. In conclusion, parents are a critical factor in a child's attitude towards sport. Interventions can be implemented to reduce parental influence, therefore resulting in less injury and negative view of the sport. Due to pushy parents, children are exposed to prolonged and excessive amount of exercise, resulting in overtraining and mental fatigue. Don't hurt your children. Leave them to do what they love to do in sport and enjoy it. No one is perfect.